let's focus on something quite unique from my experience. If your e-commerce agency is working like a charm, but once Q3 and Q4 starts and you start preparing for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, everything falls apart. Yeah, we should talk about it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, started a long time ago, not during Q3 or Q4. So at that point, you don't have a system problem or your internal problem. You have a talent or a culture fit problem. So that's all you, and you have to figure it out pretty quick when you're just building your first hires. There, I said it. Now we can move on. Let's say you have 10 people in your e-commerce team. 7 of them are actually following the system, delivering everything on time. Clients are satisfied, happy with communication, but also performance, results, everything. But then on the other side, you have 3 people that are not really there. So they're constantly questioning the system. They're constantly delaying with results, outcomes. So the clients are not really satisfied. They're constantly going back and forth. The results are not really there. And even when you point out that they need to do better or they're missing the deadlines, they again say it's the system, it's the clients. That's a huge problem. And that's a culture fit problem because you didn't set it right from the beginning. So your talent is at that point not really talenting. Once you're past 3 people in your agency, you have to pay attention to a couple of things. Culture is where your future success makes or breaks it. And trust me, I've seen tons of agencies that failed at this. So what to do before everything goes down the hill? First things first, start with building a strong work ethic and set an example from day one. So this means setting up playbooks, SOPs, loops, shadowing, constant communication, check-ins, not on the reporting side, like just dull reports each and every day, but on the actual things that move the needle, where someone needs backup, where they're actually drowning, where is the setup with some client. So maybe a couple of new heads can figure it out together instead of one person figuring out everything on their own. So make it worth their time and not just having weekly check-ins or whatever you call them, daily stand-ups, just for the sake of it, because that's not culture. Second one, prepare the entire growth plan when you're hiring for any of the roles, whether it's Klaviyo account manager, whether it's email designer, copywriter, email marketing specialist, Klaviyo technician, whatever it is, prepare the growth plan. So set up the framework around how to get from point A to point B and then to C. For example, let's say A is completed by X time, and this is what is needed to get from point B to C. Let me share an example there. You have a person who started as a junior account manager and they're only handling 4 clients when they're starting out and when they finalize their onboarding. After that, how long will it take them and what they need to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months to become maybe a senior account manager or start leading their own pod and scale to 6 to clients at that time, or maybe handling more key accounts at that point and training juniors. What they need to complete during that time to make it success. Next one, communication. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Communication and clarity, transparency is your key in small remote agencies. Don't expect people to read your mind and encourage them to do the same. If something is broken, someone is feeling overwhelmed, they should say it out loud and not be scared to do so. They should feel safe and they should always feel welcome to ask for help, whether it's something stupid simple or something extremely complex. They should be able to ask for that. And at that point, you can also have them follow the framework 131. I'm not sure how it's actually called, but I call it 1 problem, 3 options, 1 solution. I know I read it somewhere, but I'm not sure about the name. So if you know it, feel free to share. But basically, if you give people more ownership with this, even B and C players can easily become A players because they will have that ownership mindset and they will understand the system behind it. And they will take full responsibility over their work. For example, one person came to you with a problem only when they already have 3 potential solutions or options. So when they say the problem and solutions out loud, they probably already know what's the best solution in this specific scenario. And that's you basically just navigating them towards that. And finally, reward them often and quickly. Don't wait for too long if they did something great. If they received a great feedback from the client or client gave them, I don't know, 5-star review on Trustpilot. If you have top players and they're bringing results, this can be a huge mistake if you didn't reward them or at least recognize them for what they did. And they won't even tolerate it. If they're A players or someone who just became your A player, they won't tolerate it. That's the fastest way to lose your champs. Trust me. And yeah, at this point, I don't just do talent matching, recruiting, HR, however you want to call it. I also know how to make it work beyond the hiring cycle and to make it make sense even after they're signing the contract. Because if I'm just helping you fill out some seat, it doesn't say much about my expertise. If you think you have it all figured out, that's great for you. And I hope this at least gave you some clarity on it. But if not, I'm always happy to take a look and maybe even poke you in the eye with some hard truth there to make it work for the next one. So till the next one.